Greetings YouTube. Today I'm going to be looking at the Kershaw Chive. Now this actually is a knife that belongs to my wife. I used to own a Kershaw Leek, and I kind of wish I'd kept it, but at the time I needed some money, so I sold it to my friend Skull, who I believe may still have it. I'm not positive. I'd have to ask him. And she liked it, but she thought it was a little too big for what she wanted to carry, so I got her this. And this is, I believe, still available. It's an all-metal blade, obviously. It's a frame lock. Comes with a single position clip, tip down, right side only. There's lots of words on this thing, like 1600, the Kai patent number, and all that stuff. And oddly, I thought that was strange they put the Kershaw logo like that. Just kind of weird. But this is a Ken Onion design, and I happen to be a Ken Onion fan. And it's got dual thumb studs, but this is a flipper, and it's an assisted open flipper, and I can't imagine you'd ever use anything other than the flipper. And it has a really nice action. Pops right out there, and it comes out of the box shaving sharp. And this is a really nice shape for doing general cutting tasks, because when you're cutting something, if you start in here, because of this nice sweep in here, it draws that into it draws the object you're cutting into this blade, ramps it right in there, and it does a really nice job cutting. And it's also a fairly comfortable knife, even though it's small, because you've got this fairly deep choil right there. So even though it's kind of small, you get right in there like that, you have a secure grip, even though it's definitely a 3-finger knife. This finger's doing nothing. It comes with a lanyard hole, which I think you could probably get an empty piece of paracord through there, 550 paracord. I don't think you get a full piece through there. At least I wouldn't try it. Because it's so small, though, it is a little awkward for closing for me, just a little bit. Because of the clip, though, I can kind of use that as a purchase, so I can close it safely. But it is kind of awkward because it is so small. My fingers are a little on the thick side. It's just the way I am, kind of conical, short fingers. I've heard that described as a German hand, so it makes sense. My ancestors are from Germany. We have bolt construction, semi-closed, not completely closed, but semi-closed. You can see there. The blade is reasonably centered, which is kind of nice. It has a safety here. Now, the Leek also had that safety. I don't know how many of the Ken Onion Kershaw blades had that feature, but this model, and I know the Leek did too. And what this does, you see right there, when I push it forward, now the knife can't open. If you hit the flipper or try to move the studs, the tip of the blade will hit that and it will stop. You slide out of the way, and now the knife can't open, and you can tighten that in the open position with the fastener if you'd like, so that it is disabled. And when I carried my Leek, I disabled it. Now, some of the things about this I'm not a big fan of. Well, first of all, at one time I was really into all metal knives. I kind of moved past that. I found that I like G10 and I like the lightness. So there's a couple of knives that'll be reviewed in the near future which use a lot of metal, and many of them have the problem of being heavy, which is, it's kind of a hassle. But the other problem with this is incredibly smooth, which has a nice tactile sensation, but it means you can't get a grip on it. In fact, my friend Skull, when he got the Leek, he put a piece of grip tape on the flat side so that it gave him better purchase, because he was concerned with it moving in his hand, and I can really understand that, because this is a very slick blade. The clip is usable, so that's nice. And again, the lanyard hold here, because it's tipped down carry, for drawing the knife, it does nothing. So I guess you could hook it to a keychain or something. I'm not sure what you want to use it for. Or a lanyard, I guess, if you really wanted to. But if you're going to have a lanyard hole, to my mind, it makes sense so that you can help draw the blade out of your pocket, which means that definitely you want to have the lanyard hole in the end with the clip head, at the clip mounting point here. So you really want to tip up carry for a lanyard hole that's going to help you. But that's just me. But overall, it's a sweet little knife with a great shape. Very aesthetically pleasing, very sharp, usable. And it's a nice size if you're in an office environment. This is not going to scare anyone. Even though it pops out and makes that little clicking sound, it's not going to scare anyone because it's not a very big knife. I mean, look at that. Get my thumb joint in there, and You know, it's like a 1.5 thumbs long. You know, it's not what you call big. I mean, I can easily palm that so you can barely see it's in my hand. You know, if I were to cut something small like that or come like this, it's barely noticeable. So it's a good design for an office environment. I will admit that the jimping here does help a little as far as grip concerned, but it's not overly aggressive. There is no jimping on the frame lock at all. It does sit proud so that you can get a purchase on it, which is nice. So overall, a great design. A little too smooth for my taste, but that's just me. My wife, I think she might be carrying this. She got the Skeletal as well, and I think she might be carries that more often. I'm not positive. I think she's got an Open L kicking around as well. I have to ask her if she's got that. I haven't reviewed that yet. Okay, I'm wondering. But it's a nice design. I happen to like it. It's a little small for my taste and a little too slick, and it is tipped down. I prefer tip up carry. But if you are a Ken Onion fan and you are a Kershaw fan, I think this is a blade that you definitely want to put in your collection.